On my television broadcast, the No Spin News, I put forth that Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, to some extent, the mayor of LA, Karen Bass, and other far leftists out there, actually wanted the violence against ICE to erupt in Los Angeles, and we backed that up. I don't think there's any doubt about it, but you can make up your own mind after hearing what we had. In New York City, it's a bit different. So there were demonstrations, and they continue to a small extent in Foley Square, Lower Manhattan, against immigration enforcement policies. And there's a bunch of people out there, but there's no groundswell. It's not what they call organic. Cops say about 1,500 protesters so far, but that's not a lot in a city of this size. And there's no real drive to make any points. In fact, by 9 o'clock last night, I was watching on television and listening to the radio as well. The protesters pretty much went home. I mean, it was like, okay. And it was some arrests, but, nothing staggering. And as we reported yesterday, most of these people get summonses. It's like a traffic ticket. Some of them send in the fine, some of them don't. Most of them don't show up for the hearings. About 86 protesters arrested. Assault, resisting arrest, obstructing governmental administration, that kind of thing. But Alvin Bragg's not going to prosecute any of them, as we told you yesterday. He doesn't care about this. I don't know what Mr. Bragg cares about, to be honest with you. Certainly doesn't care about enforcing the law. I guess he cares about social justice. Anyway, I asked my staff to find one of these protesters. And we did find a woman named Linda Sarsour, who's a professional agitator, I believe. I could be wrong, but I've seen and heard her before. And here's what she says. Go.
We have every right to defend those that we love. The root of this problem is not protesters. The root of this problem is masked men who are kidnapping mothers and fathers and students in our community.
Yeah, it's just loon stuff. The root of the problem is Joe Biden, who opened the border to 14 million foreign nationals, at least unattended. That's where it is. But Ms. Sarsour doesn't like America. She doesn't like the federal government. She doesn't like Trump. She, on and on and on and on. These people mask their true agendas. They want an overthrow of the country. They feel the country is racist. And this is pretty much at the heart of all the demonstrations. If you trace them back to Rodney King and you trace the Minnesota situation and now the ICE situation, it always comes back to America's a racist country and we have to throw out the white patriarchy and on and on. It always comes back to that. George Floyd should never have died. Yes, he was loaded with narcotics, but the guy, had his knee, the cop had his knee on Floyd's neck. Floyd was saying, look, I'm in trouble. That never in a million years should have happened. And the reaction to it was mostly criminal, not social. So you'll remember the protesters were out there saying, look, you're violent toward African-American men, on and on. In the meantime, looting and destruction and all of that, what does that have to do with George Floyd? Nothing. So the people who drive this stuff, who exploit this stuff, and LA is the same way. These are professional agitators. If you go to BillO'Reilly.com and you read my message, I tell you what organization funded this whole LA thing. And ironically, they got their money from the state of California. And it's happening in New York as well. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.